Yes, my people, welcome back to AFTV. Me and Rob are down here to preview this Saturday's game, 3 p.m. kickoff, Arsenal versus Leeds, here at the Emirates Stadium, 60,000-seater stadium. Rob, international break done, 10 to go.
It's over, man. It's now we're into, we're into that period, man. This is it, you know what I mean? From now till the end of the season, we count down the games, 10 games to go. Every game's going to be pressure. Every game's a must-win game. Every game's a cup final, you know what I mean? And that's where we are now. But we're in a fantastic position. We really are. And, these are the games that we've got to take advantage of. Just starting off with, Leeds at home, a winnable game. We've got a fantastic record against Leeds. And we've got to get the job done. It's as simple as that this week. We've got to get the job done on Saturday and keep the pressure on Manchester City. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Everybody keeps talking about the pressure on Arsenal, and I understand it because we haven't really been in this position for 20 years nearly. Whereas City, they're used to this. This is their yearly thing. You know what I mean? At this time, they're under pressure to win the league. They're challenging for the league, right? So I understand it, but also what people have to understand is that we are putting pressure on Manchester City as well. And pressure is pressure. Yes, they've got experienced players who can deal with it, but pressure is pressure, you know what I mean? And we've got to pile on as much of it as we possibly can.
100%.
Starting with this weekend.
Talking about pressure, obviously Arsenal sitting comfy at the top of the Premier League on 69 points. Leeds are in 14th with 26 points. I'm going to quickly run through some of our last 5 results and their last 5 results. Arsenal on course for 7 wins in a row, by the way. We've been in great form of recent. The Leicester 1-0 win, the 4-0 win against Everton here at the Emirates, the 3-2 win, the last minute obviously from Reece Nelson. Fulham, we won 3-0 away, and then a 4-1 win against Palace at home, which is in March the 19th. But still, it feels so long ago.
A couple of weeks ago.
It does feel a while ago, but let me just quickly run through Leeds' last 5. They lost to Everton 1-0. They beat Southampton at home. Chelsea, they lost to 1-0. Leeds versus Brighton was 2-2. Wolves, they beat 4-2. And you know what I've noticed from their new manager, Javi Garcia, they're a bit more resolute. Since getting rid of Jesse Marsch, we knew he was very pressing and the press they used to that Leeds do. But now it seems like they're not leaking as many goals. Are you worried about that when they come here?
Well, listen, they had a great win in their last game against Wolves away. That was a really tough game to go away to Wolves, you know what I mean? And that was a very good win, but they haven't been great on the road this season. I think they've only won 2 on the road, and yes, Gracia's come in and made them a bit more difficult to beat, but still they're beatable, you know what I mean? There's still, you can get at their defence, in particular at their midfield, and still they are beatable, but like any Premier League team, we got to show them maximum respect, because if you don't, a couple of weeks ago, we were playing the team at the bottom of the league at that time in Bournemouth, and before we could blink, we were 2-0 down. So if you don't have respect for these teams, they can punish you. It's as simple as that. And also, I want to big up, let's big up Arsenal for a minute, because everybody talks about the great runs that Man City are on. Like you said, if we win on the weekend, that's 7 games on the bounce. Nobody's talking about our runs when we're on them. We've been going on runs as well all season. So, but this, make no doubt about it, Leeds United will come here. They'll be buoyed by that last performance that they did at Wolves. And we cannot, and I think will not, take them lightly, and that's the right thing to do, because they'll bring a lot of support. They'll be loud. This is the Premier League, baby. We know how it runs.
It is, and do you know what? You're right, Rob. We can't take them lightly. I mean, the last head-to-head, the last 5 between us two, we've won every game against Leeds. But I remember the 4-1 win. Martin had a really good game. But the one I want to highlight is the last time we played them was the 1-0, the lights out. Remember the power cut?
Lights out.
I don't want to say we should have lost that game, but listen,
they could easily have got a draw. They were really strong in the second half, and there was a lot of people sort of saying, "Boy, that was one game where we got away with one a bit. We weren't at our best that day, and they nearly turned us over." Well, I wouldn't say turned us over in that we would have lost the game, but we could quite easily have dropped points there and drew the game. And a draw at the weekend would be a disaster. And even if I think to the game that they had against Man United, where they played them, they got a draw at United.
2-2,
You know what I mean? So again, they started the game quick. So that was the same sort of thing that hit us with that Bournemouth game, where next minute, United were 2-0 down. So you've got to be this Premier League, man. The teams, they're all top teams. They're all stacked with internationals. If you switch off, if you take it for granted, you get done. But I just don't think we're going to do that this week. And I think the fact that, you know, a lot of players had quite a positive international break.
Yeah,
Saka, how good was
flying.
he during the international break? And I mean, you know, asserting himself again as one of the best young players in the world. You know, and then we've got a lot of players who didn't go on international break. Like the one I'm really interested to see, and I would love to see start this weekend, is Gabriel Jesus.
That's going to be the big dilemma. Who's it going to be, Jesus or Trossard?
Because I think, right, he's completely rested now. He's ready now. He's ready. It's good. It's been a good nearly month since he's been backed. We've used him sparingly. This, for me, is the game when you start him and say, right, Jesus, go out there, attack.
Who do you take off? Who do you drop for Jesus?
I think I'd leave out Trossard and bring Trossard on. I think I'd have Jesus down the middle, Martinelli on one side because he's been on fire, and Saka's been on fire on the other side.
Martinelli, our top goal scorer.
And then say to those three, go and terrorise that Leeds defence. You know what I mean? That's what I'd be thinking, because I just think, yeah, it's Jesus time, man. He's waited a long time. He's been out injured. He's been frustrated, but now this is his time now. I feel that he's going to be such a key player in our running.
Yeah, Jesus,
really
Jesus time. I like that. Let me just quickly ask you as well, before we get into like the key players. Just, you spoke about pressure. Are you not nervous for this game in the sense that, you know, it's 10 games left. Arsenal don't need to win it, but it will be a good kickstart for the last kind of run of the games. We've got Man City against Liverpool. They might drop points there. It is a lot of pressure. When we speak about pressure on our side, you spoke about City earlier. Listen, they've given us players. Zinchenko, they gave us Jesus. They've got Haaland. There's a lot of pressure on them. But do you think you're feeling the pressure that Arsenal need to definitely win this game?
I think Arsenal's approach has to be forget about Man City, forget about what they're doing, assume that they're going to beat Liverpool. They're at home, you know, and they've been strong all season at the Etihad. So assume that Liverpool will lose that game. That means we have to win this. We've got to get our jobs done. We've got a little buffer. That's the thing that has lessened the nerves a little bit, because we've got a little buffer between us and City, but we've got to stay ahead of the game as long as possible, you know what I mean, so that we start to take it deep down into the end of the season now, where that really tells, you know what I mean? And we can only do that by winning these games. This is a must win. This is pressure.
As a fan, would you rather be the hunter or being hunted?
The hunter. So, sorry, the hunted. Sorry, apologise. The hunted. I want to be the hunted. I want to be the team that's got the points on the boards. You know what I mean? Because I feel that, you know, then you've got the advantage. You know what I mean? You know, you can start. I mean, in a few games' time, if we can keep the run going, we can start to see the pathway. You know what I mean? We can start to say, right, if we win X amount of games, it's done. So you want to be the hunted, man, definitely.
100%.
And we've been the hunted all season.
All season.
You
But bar one, I think 1 week we slipped up, and then we're back
when we
on
lost
top.
to City. Yeah, I mean, so we've been the hunted.
Okay, let's run through some key players. Any key players?
Sorry to cut you there, Cecil. That's why when people keep saying about pressure, we've had that all season. I know it's going to be different now we're coming to the end, but we have been the hunted all season. We've had that pressure all season.
Is this a different sort of pressure or not? Because it is
as you start to get to the business end, of course, you know what I mean, every game's a cup final, but I think we've kind of been like that for the last couple of months anyway. It's kind of because City are just breathing down your neck. You know, you can't afford to lose or draw.
Yeah, I hear it.
It's the same mode, isn't it?
I love speaking to fans. They're like, I just can't believe we're in this position. I just can't believe we could potentially win it. So it is a lot of pressure. Let's run through some key players. Anyone that comes to mind for you at Leeds that you've got to be fearful of, would you say? Because I think they've got a fair bunch of players.
Well, you know, that Nonto, who, you know, you were saying to me before that he could be out. He worried me because, you know, I think he's a brilliant young player. You know, I mean, picks the ball up, drives up. You know, he's a danger. You know what I mean? He really is a danger. So if he is out, I mean, that'd be a bit of a bonus for Arsenal. You know what I mean? So he in particular was the one that I was looking at. You know, Tyler Adams is another one.
Yeah, Tyler Adams.
But, you know, they're saying that he could be out. You know what I mean? He's kind of a driving force in midfield. But, you know, I think with Leeds, they're one of these teams, they're a team. You know, they don't really rely specifically on just one individual. 100%. You know what I mean? They work as a team, they move as a team. You know what I mean? So a bit like us in that aspect. So we've got to manage the game. Manage the whole game. It's a bit like Bournemouth when we played them. There's no real sort of big standout player, but they played well as a team that day. And that is where they're dangerous.
Yeah, I know a little bit about the Leeds players because obviously working with CONCACAF, a lot of them are from the USA, and I know a lot about them. So obviously there's Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams.
McKennie's a top player as well.
Very good players. You spoke about Nonto. They got Bamford as well. He's all right.
Well, listen, you know Bamford, if he's on it, he's a goal scorer. You know. I know he's hit and miss, but if he's on it, he's a goal scorer.
100%. Rodrigo as well is doing really well this season, and also Jack Harrison with 6 assists. So they've got They've got threats, but I think Arsenal should be able to, you know, to be able to win it. You can see the rain starting to come down. England, this weather this week has been so hit and miss. It's a joke. But let me ask you who you're going to be looking at for Arsenal. Who's going to be the key player for you that you need
for me, right?
Jesus
as I said, Jesus time, man. I mean, he's the key for me. I want to see him start. I want to see Mikel Arteta just unleash him and say, yo, go and do your thing, man. And obviously Saka, you know, with what he's done over the past couple of weeks for England, I think he's going to be on fire. I can see him getting doubled up and trebled up, you know, but I think it's that front three that's going to be the real key for Arsenal. Jesus, I just get a feeling that he's going to start this week and he'll be the key. Okay, I'm going to run through some of the some doubts. I mean, we're hearing that, you know, Thomas Partey might be back in time. Yeah,
got a bit of back pain.
I noticed that Arsenal sent their physio with him, so hopefully, you know, I mean, he should be all right. He didn't play in the second game for Ghana, so let's hope he's fine. And we're hearing that Eddie might be returning as well in this game. We're hoping that'd be fantastic. That'd be another bonus if we start to see Eddie. I mean, I wouldn't expect him to start or nothing, but just to see him even on the bench would be brilliant. You know what I mean? Because we're going to need a fit squad for these last 10 games. If we've got a fit squad where we can attack at all angles, I mean, it'd be brilliant. Yeah, and then obviously we know about Elneny and we know Tomiyasu's also out. And maybe quickly William Saliba as well. Yeah, doubt Saliba. Listen, if he's fit, he's got to start. If he's not fit, if he's not quite there yet, you know what I mean, Rob Holding again, he didn't let us down in the last game. I thought he played really, really well in the last 2 times he's been called upon. So if it's Rob Holding, I'm relaxed with that. Okay. Well, listen, it's now time for the score prediction before we absolutely get drowned here at the Emirates Stadium. Time for score predictions. Look, the last 10. This is England, man. It's raining here, and over there it looks so sunny. Sunny, innit? You know, it's mad. Score prediction, Rob. Score prediction, I'm going to go for 3-0. Wow. I just fancy us scoring a load of goals this weekend. I think confidence is going to be high. With players like Saka and Jesus back in the fold. Martinelli's been on fire as well. And I fancy us to keep a clean sheet. I'm praying for a clean sheet because the other thing is as well, you know, goal difference and that could come into play. That's a good point. And I think as well as talking about scoring goals, it's about keeping some clean sheets now. We've got to tighten up that defence. You know, we did in the last game. You know what I mean? No, sorry, we conceded, didn't we? We conceded against Palace. Yep. I want a clean sheet, man. So if we can get a win with a clean sheet, that'd be brilliant. But I just fancy us this weekend. I'm 3-0. 3-0, and I'm going to go over 2-1. I mentioned earlier, obviously, Leeds have been a bit more resolute under Javi Gracia. I'm going to go over 2-1. The boys coming back. We might not have our strongest centre-back pairing, so we might leak a goal. But a win is the most important thing, and that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see for the next 10, and hopefully we'll end up lifting that trophy. And that's the end of the video. Listen, the rain stopped, bro. Rain has stopped. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Listen, guys, it's your time to have your say on Friday, 5 p.m. on the Fan Zone, the AFTV Plus app. You can download it on iOS or the Play Store and have your very own fan cam along with us on Friday at 5 p.m. Yeah, definitely. Make sure you check it out. It's your chance to have your say. Fan Zone, AFTV app, right? We want you. We want to hear from you, right? So you just come on live Friday at 5 p.m. So that's it, people. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe if you're new. And guys, we'll see you again very soon. Take care. This Saturday on DR Sports, we've got a massive watch-along. It's the comeback fight with Anthony Joshua versus Jermaine Franklin.
Can AJ revive his career, or will this be his early retirement?
We're hoping not. Join us on Saturday with the team and check out the big watch-along here on DR Sports. Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.